Hey, I'm going to show how to hang a towel bar on the wall. This is just like one of your typical towel rings. And actually, if you reverse this the other way, the screw to mount it will be on the top. But when you hang the towel this way, when you pull the towel to dry your hands, it'll actually stay on there a lot better. So we're going to go ahead and just pause the video for a second. Okay. So if you see that the towel is on there in this orientation, the towel could easily slip off as you're trying to dry your hands. And the whole point of this being reversible is so that when you flip this way and you grab the towel to dry your hands, it doesn't slide off of the actual hook assembly. So what we're going to do is we're going to mount it this way, because we're going to be grabbing the towel from this direction. So basically it's reversible, so if you wanted to put it over here on this side, on this wall, if there was a wall here, or if you're going over here, you want to reverse it the other way so that the towel stays on the towel ring, which is really nice. And the screw hole is really not that big a deal. You don't really pay attention to that detail. We actually took down an old robe hook that I put up as a temporary solution. We're going to use this in our master bathroom. And so I'm going to hang this towel ring right here. So first off, we're going to use a 1/4-inch drill bit to drill the pilot holes to mount this towel ring. And I'm going to put a little bit of tape. I know this is kind of an odd tool to have, but as you'll notice, this is what I'm going to use to capture the dust. So I put that up there, halfway stick it to the wall. You can kind of bend it down a little bit and crease it. That way it stays kind of below where you want it. And we take our little bracket that's going to actually hold this on the wall. This only goes one way. So as you can see in the back of this towel ring, this will go in here like this. So it only goes one direction. So we put this up on the wall. You know, if you are going to be doing this at home, it's not a big deal for you to figure this out. It just, you know, some people are a little bit apprehensive and trying to do small projects like this, but you can do it. You can do it. I have about 20 years of experience in doing this kind of stuff because we do custom remodels. So I've already pre-drilled a hole. Before we started this video, I already pre-drilled a hole with a smaller bit, like a 3/16. And now I'm going to go ahead and drill out with a 1/4-inch bit. And hopefully the tape will catch a lot of this dust. You know, sometimes you can get in a hurry by using the actual bit size that you're going to use to do your holes. But if you go 1 or 2 steps smaller, what it does is it allows the drill bit to have a nice center point for the bit to go into, so it stays centered. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this tape right here, go ahead and pull that down like that. It catches most of it. And just put that into the trash can. Next, we're going to install the anchors into the wall. These are just your simple plastic anchors that comes with the towel ring. And these should not have to be forced in too much. You shouldn't have to hammer them in. They should fit nicely, nice and snug. So if you bored the hole out too big, there is another solution to try to make this work. You either have to move it over maybe a 1/2 inch and drill new holes if you've wallered out the holes too big. Or, you know, you have to patch the hole with something, fill the hole with some liquid nails, let it dry overnight, and then you can actually drill the screw into the liquid nails and use that as an anchor. So what we're going to do is going to install the bracket with the screws. So we're going to change our tip on our drill. And this is kind of a crucial part of installing these screws into these anchors. You don't want to get too excited and just start drilling away. You want to make sure that you start slow. Okay, I'm just going to start slow, and then I'm going to speed check it. Just give it a little bit of power, a little bit at a time, instead of going all the way in all at once. What that does is, and I don't want to tighten it all the way because I'm going to line up this other screw first. Sometimes it's a little harder if you tighten it down all the way to get this bottom screw in. But what that allows you to do is to, when you're pushing that screw through that anchor, if you do it a little bit at a time, it'll actually allow that anchor to spread out evenly. But if you try to force it in, then the anchor will start slipping in the sheetrock very quickly because the screw is grabbing the anchor if you try to force it in really fast. So if you do it just a little bit at a time, it actually will help you seat the screw into the anchor securely so it doesn't slip. So now we're going to do our second one. Notice here I turned down the speed all the way to 1, because even on number 2 it's pretty powerful. Okay. Alright, we're nice and snug. I mean, that is not going anywhere. What I also did too is I put it in the center of these other 2 mollies, the molly anchors that were from the previous robe hook. I put it in between it so that maybe possibly when I put this new one here, I don't have any holes to patch. So I think that's what we've achieved. This specific set screw is a little flathead, so we'll have to get a small screwdriver for that to actually tighten that. This specific towel ring does not come with an Allen wrench set screw. It only comes with this little tiny flathead set screw, so don't be alarmed. This is not a major deal. Sometimes I even use my pocket knife, you know, with a razor blade and try to tighten it little by little, but you really need a small flathead screwdriver, a micro screwdriver, typically the one that you use to tighten your sunglasses or your regular glasses, the little screws on there. So we'll get one of those little screwdrivers and we'll come back and finish this installation up. Driver over here, he'd be proud. I'm going to use a paper clip to try to do this, so we'll see how this works. I think this screwdriver is too big, so yeah, it won't even fit in there. If I was in my shop, I could probably manufacture a tip with a grinder or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend this to see if this will actually reach down inside of here. Alright, let's see if I've got a little flathead screwdriver. Let's see if this works. It's got a little handy handle there. If I press down. Oh my gosh, it's working. It's painfully slow, but if I can get both prongs into the screw slot, you know what? It's not working. I found the perfect tool. So this is just a 2-prong fondue fork, and it's okay if I screw this up because I was going to throw this away anyways. But it does fit. So it will turn the set screw, and if I have to, I can cut this other prong off and it'll be my future flathead screwdriver. So now I'm going to put this onto the wall. Make sure that prong's out of the way. Okay. Oh, it's got to go into the bottom part of this first, because it has kind of like a hook area where this is supposed to hook in the base of this mounting bracket. and then the top part is the actual set screw that holds it in place. So bottom side first, and you'll feel it actually hook into it, and then should that's a snug fit. I had the set screw all the way recessed, so it wasn't the set screw that was holding it up, it was just a tight fit. And now I'm just making sure it's square. Okay, looks pretty good. Okay, and now we are ready to use our new towel ring. As you can see, it wasn't that difficult to install. It's just a matter of having the right tools. And since I'm working from home today, this is my personal home, I didn't have all my tools with me. But you know, when you're trying to do small projects like this, it's kind of like cooking. You want to make sure all your ingredients are laid out, all your tools are laid out, because when you need that tool or you need that ingredient in the middle of the process, you don't want to be frantically looking for that tool or that ingredient. So try to remember that. I'm going to try to take my own advice. When I'm on the job site, I have all my tools at my disposal, but when you're at home, you need to plan ahead, make sure you have all the tools that you need. This has been just a short video of how to install a towel ring, but you know, sometimes it's just those little things that you as the viewer might feel it's a daunting task, but as you can see, it's really not that hard. So go ahead and go for it. Just make sure you lay all your tools and your parts out. Make sure you have everything before you start. So thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you next time.